Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to my instant match reaction to Crystal Palace 4, Everton nil. Everton get absolutely pasted by a side who just last season, as recently as we finished above. So, there's a great indicator to how far this great club has fallen and what a disaster of a season this has been. Everton are out of the FA Cup at the quarter-final stage at the hands of a Crystal Palace side who were doing pretty well. But not well enough to beat us 4-0 because only a very pathetic side would allow that to happen, but we're a very pathetic side. Um, the whole team was terrible. Holgate was cowered out of a block for one of the goals. Coleman again showing that he's finished. Decore and Gomez very weak in the midfield. Again, I was very irritated by how spineless we were with the referee. I thought the referee didn't give us enough protection. As a result, Andros Townsend went off with a bad injury. I think Anthony Gordon was limping at times during the game. He was getting booted around, and our players were doing nothing to suggest to the referee that they should probably give him a bit more protection. Our players are spineless cowards. Disgrace, absolutely pathetic. Every single one of them today. It was a disgrace of a performance. But why should they bother? It's only, thousands of supporters travelling down on a Sunday morning, early doors to go and support the team. But why? They don't matter, do they? They don't matter. We don't matter. So, who cares? Just get beat 4-0 off Crystal Palace. Why not? It doesn't make no odds to them, does it? They still get the paychecks. Absolute disgrace. Lazy, pathetic, disgusting. Absolute disgrace, these players. And we might stay up just because these players have us at home and we might win enough games that way. But it will be tight, but who knows in the league. But obviously the cup's done and dusted now for the season. Probably for the best. We need as much time now between games to win the league games and make sure we stay up. Whether that happens remains to be seen. Obviously, these players have let us down countless times this season. But I'm not stopping at the players today. I'm also going to criticise Frank Lampard. I thought his tactics were horrific today. Okay, yeah, Alan's missing. We're lacking some of our defensive midfielders. We're lacking defensive midfielders, full stop. But come on, play Holgate in midfield or, somebody else in midfield. Make it a three-man midfield and stop with three at the back. Three at the back does not work at Everton. It hasn't worked any time I've ever seen it try and be implemented at Everton. It's never worked. And these players are obviously, like I say, they're pretty pathetic anyway. They're not the most adaptable players. Everything has to be rolled out like a red carpet for them just to be able to deliver a 1-0 win against Newcastle. So I would expect them to adapt to a three-man defence, a five-man defence. They're not going to do it. And that shows. We weren't marking the players. We weren't tracking runs. We were obviously losing players at corners. That's how we conceded the first goal. No shape, no flow. It was disgraceful. First 15 minutes before the goal went in, the first goal, we looked a bit promising. We pressed well, we got forward. Again, though, we looked a bit toothless. And that's another issue that we'll have to touch on. But namely, we gave it a go. They scored one goal, and as Everton usually do away from home when they concede the first goal, they just capitulate and decide, oh, it doesn't really matter if we let a second, third, and fourth in. Why not? It doesn't really make a difference, does it? We're going to get beat anyway, so why not? Who cares about the pride of the club? Who cares about the pride of the supporters who are in the stands, who've travelled down to watch this game? Who cares? It doesn't really matter, does it? It's only, a great club with steeped in over 100 years of history that you're dragging through the mud. Absolute disgrace these players are. And you wonder why, obviously it looks as though they maybe won us back a little bit with that win against Newcastle and the passion they showed there at Goodison. But obviously they go on the road and they do this and they, absolutely, this is two away games in a row now. You've scored 5-0 and 4-0. 9 goals conceded and non-scored in the last 2 away games. How on earth is that good enough for Everton Football Club? It is not. These players, if they think that's acceptable, that we can just do that, they need to be told otherwise. And I know these players, and it's a modern era where we've got to put our arms around players and get behind them, Goodison, but home truths need to be told. And is Frank Lampard the right man to give them home truths? I don't know. He seems to be a pretty good coach, but he didn't show that today either. I thought his tactics were well off today. There's no way that formation was ever going to get us the result we craved in this game. The formation he picked against Newcastle the other night was the right one. And, even when the tide turned against us with a red card, we still managed to dig in and at least hold out for that clean sheet and then got the winner eventually. That is the right formation. This formation is anything but the right formation. It's the worst possible formation you could probably pick with bad players as well. So, when we were never going to get a result, I don't think I was pretty much convinced. I'll be honest with you. I know it's not nice to hear, but I was convinced we were beaten before the first whistle went today because that team selection was terrible. I don't know. He doesn't have. He's not like. He's not got the best options in front of him, and it is a poor team. But come on, he's got to do better than that tactically. He just doesn't. It looked like he didn't have a clue what he was doing today. Hopefully, the league again after the international break. It's not a nice way to go into the international break now because we could have gone into that would have been a positive momentum. Now we spend 2 weeks desperately waiting for the next game to come around to try and right these wrongs, and fans are going to be in a bad place mentally now for 2 weeks. I certainly am worrying about our fate as a Premier League club, and how much further these players could drag us through the mud because they've already done it again today. They did it against Spurs. You know, they don't really care that we get embarrassed as supporters about what they're doing to our club, but they need to sort it out quickly. But it's not nice that we have to go to West Ham next in the league away from home, probably another 3 or 4 nil at least defeat at this rate because odds are with Alan out again with the ban, we'll probably end up having another five at the back nonsensical setup. I'm not confident in this team, and to be honest, I'm concerned about the manager as well because surely after today at least he's got to see that three at the back, five at the back is failing at this club. It was failing for most other managers who've tried to implement it as well. So, it's something he really needs to knock on the head right away now. He needs to never use that again. And, revert to whatever he did against Newcastle. I mean, obviously he's going to have to tweak the personnel, but that system was more successful than this one. That needs to be changed now. Frank Lampard has got to have that in his head and be preparing us for the four at the back set up for the West Ham game and get to work on implementing that. Whatever personnel it is, he's got to work. He's got to try and work on that starting the next training session. 2 weeks to prepare now for West Ham. Got to get on with it and focus on the league now. This is gone. Unfortunately, the FA Cup has gone for another season. The trophy has gone. The weight goes on. It's a very, very depressing circumstance for the club, obviously, but we've got more pressing matters. We've got to worry about staying up. And Frank Lampard needs to get to work, and these players need to start putting the hard yards in because again they've let us down, and I quite frankly can't take much more of it. So I'm going to leave it at that anyway, guys. Crystal Palace 4, Everton 0. Let us know your opinions. Drop us a comment, give this video a like, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in on the Toffee.